Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway at International Fight Week is now reportedly inches away from becoming official. According to Ariel Helwani, the fight is basically on the goal line, and something crazy would have to happen for it to fall apart before July 11th. Ariel says it's not fully signed yet, but it's extremely close, making this the strongest indication so far that Conor is finally returning to the UFC. At the same time, Ariel Helwani unexpectedly found himself in beef with Sean Strickland. Ariel went off on Sean over his recent comments about Khamzat Chimaev, criticizing him for talking aggressively about Khamzat for months, then taking it all back and apologizing after the fight. Helwani called Strickland a walking contradiction. Sean quickly fired back on Twitter, "This is why I don't do media with him. You are a leech who I've never respected. The moment I met this man, I knew his quality. End of the day, the hatred between was real. What he said about me was wrong. What I said about him was wrong." This what hate and anger does to people, and it still might be there, but we earned each other's respect through blood, and I would never expect a man of his quality to understand that. You are and will always be a pathetic MMA leech who has done nothing besides criticizing men who are better than yourself. Strickland's coach Eric Nixick just revealed what was happening in the corner between rounds during Sean's fight.
Khamzat and you seem to have a great relationship, and it seemed like even at one point he was sort of talking to you before the start of one of the rounds towards the end. What was he saying?
I was telling him he ain't no boogeyman. I was like, boogeyman, and he's like, I love you, coach. And I was like, and then he said something else, and we were going back and forth, and he just spit out a bunch of blood and looked over at me, and I was like, "You're a sicko, bro. I love you, man." And I have nothing but love and respect for Khamzat. We've been good friends. I'd say good friends, but we've been, acquaintances since 2021. So. I didn't want to make anything like personal, but Sean is my guy. I have a job to do, and I don't want to be too friendly with the guy. With that being said, man, once the fight was over, went over there, gave him a big old hug and shook his hand. I plan on reaching out to him today, just checking on him. And
Alexandre Pantoja just released new training footage ahead of his rematch with Joshua Van, drilling the exact same kick that got him down in their first fight and led to the hand injury during the fall. Alex clearly isn't abandoning the technique despite how badly that moment ended for him. Joshua Van is already preparing carefully for Pantoja's grappling heavy style. Van admitted he usually avoids throwing too many kicks because wrestlers constantly try to catch them and force takedowns, something he expects even more from a grappler like the Cannibal. Van also reacted to the comments made after their first fight, saying he was genuinely surprised by them. He explained that one of the first things fighters are taught in the gym is how to fall properly and avoid posting the hand in dangerous positions, especially during scrambles and takedowns, implying that someone with such a high-level grappling background should already understand that instinctively. Now the rematch has extra tension behind it, with Pantoja sharpening the same weapon that caused chaos the first time, while Van is building a game plan around stopping the grappling threat entirely. The GOAT of this division, Demetrius Johnson, believes Kyoji Horiguchi is the most dangerous challenge for the title. Let's hear it from him.
I think Kyoji Horiguchi is more seasoned than Tatsuru. Doesn't have the grappling as Tatsuru, but he has more of a direct game plan. Kyoji Horiguchi is very good about following the game plan and executing it. You look when Kyoji Horiguchi fought Kai Asakura in Japan. Kai Asakura starched them the first time they fought. Then the second time, Kyoji Horiguchi finished Kai Asakura because he just kicked his leg. He goes, "I'm just going to kick his leg." And he was able to knock out Kai Asakura with just leg kicks. So, very exciting time to be watching the flyweight division.
Khamzat Chimaev and Petr Yan have just found themselves at the center of new tension inside the Russian MMA scene. Following Khamzat's first career loss to Sean Strickland, emotions were already running high across Russian MMA fans and fighters. However, things escalated when UFC bantamweight champion Petr Yan revisited earlier comments about Chimaev in a recent interview, doubling down on his stance that he doesn't view the result as a major blow to Russian MMA since Khamzat competes under the UAE flag rather than representing Russia. Those remarks didn't go unnoticed. Yan's manager Sayat later confirmed that Chimaev and Yan had a direct confrontation following the comments. According to him, the situation didn't spiral into anything physical, but there was a clear face-to-face exchange between the two. Sayat also added that this won't be the last time the topic comes up, revealing that Chimaev and Yan are expected to meet again to talk things through properly. The Chechen is pushing hard for an October rematch with Strickland in Abu Dhabi. His camp believes the loss came down to Chimaev's health issues during fight week when he struggled to make weight, while Strickland also entered the fight dealing with problems of his own, including a shoulder injury just days before the bout. Alright, let's dive into what Jan's manager had to say.
Ну, я против каких-то таких моментов, которые переходят за грань. Вот. Конечно, что-то, что подстегнет интерес к поединку, смело, без лишнего, без допусков. Почему нет? А так специально провоцировать, искать какие-то моменты, конфликты, это не считаю нужным.
Я тебе так вопрос поставлю. Как нам их примирить, да, вот как эту ситуацию закрыть? Вот что бы мог по этому поводу сказать?
Я, честно говоря, не слышал, я видел отрывки, поэтому не могу вырвано из контекста или как-то. Я не думаю, что здесь что-то они увидятся, руки пожмут и так далее.
Justin Gaethje had a heated moment in the gym while prepping for his title unification bout against Ilia Topuria. And it's making waves in the MMA world. According to a Russian training partner who recently spoke to Ushitaika, Justin got dropped in sparring by a hard head kick, and things got heated immediately after, especially once he realized the incident might have been recorded. The source might have broken one of the oldest unspoken rules of MMA gyms: never reveal what happens during sparring, especially if you've caught someone off guard. But in this case, the Russian fighter broke that rule, because after the incident, he might never train with Gaethje again. Sharing the story carried no real risk. He had nothing to lose, and frankly, it got people talking. Interestingly, he went to a local Russian outlet for the scoop, probably thinking it would stay regional and fly under the radar in the Western MMA world. That plan didn't exactly work out. When asked straight up about the incident, he confirmed it. Justin got dropped, then grabbed his teammate's phone and tried to prevent that moment from leaking before the Pimblett fight. Fans who followed his previous camp against Pimblett know this isn't the first time the highlight has had risky moments. In past vlogs, he showed a head clash with a teammate, and Usman submitting him, both fueling talk about how intense his training gets.
Короче, мы пришли на спаррингах, и мой брат, я ему сказал то, что снимай, короче, с первого раунда до последнего со всеми. И потом тренер Джастин Гейджи мне сказал то, что просто дай ему хороший раунд, да. И мы оба как бы уставшие были, и просто как бы на характер и на кайф, да. Потом я его как бы раз ногой бросил, и получилось очень хорошо. После этого я вышел, и он пошел к моему брату, говорит то, что дай мне телефон. Потом я говорю, что Джастин, ты думаешь, то, что я это буду выкладывать? Я ему говорю то, что серьезно, у тебя на кону будет, не делай это, нет. Он вот такой как бы...
What are your predictions for this banger at the White House? Can Justin dethrone El Matador? Drop your predictions in the comments. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.